Okay, so it's time for an update. My parents are doing mostly fine, at least in regards to their health, and I thank everyone for their thoughts and prayers for them. That meant a lot to me and to them. My health, on the other hand, has recently taken a rather weird turn. So over the last couple of weeks, everyone in my house has been sick at one time or another. We still have no idea exactly what it was, but it finally got its hooks into me this past weekend. I wound up with a fever of 103 degrees, alternating between sweating literal buckets and freezing my butt off, and I was so sick that I didn't even watch my beloved Eagles get their heads handed to them by the Cowboys. I know I didn't miss much, but you know I'm sick if I don't watch the Eagles game. Monday morning, I woke up around 4 a.m., which is not at all unusual for me, and went outside to smoke a cigarette. During that smoke, I felt myself getting tunnel vision, so I hurried inside to grab a seat at the kitchen table. And that is the last thing I remember before hearing my wife screaming to my son for help. Apparently, I passed out, stood up, convulsed, and collapsed, in that order and relatively quickly. My wife rushed me to the hospital, where I spent roughly the next 48 hours. They did a CT scan on my exceedingly hard head, and what they found was concerning enough to send me for an MRI. On the positive side, I now know what's causing my neuropathy, and it isn't from being pre-diabetic, as that clown doctor at the VA decided. The reason for the MRI was to verify what the CT scan wasn't precise enough to fully reveal. I have lesions on my brain, most notably in the white matter of my left frontal lobe. In other words, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, or MS. Not really what I was expecting. For those who don't know, the left frontal lobe is the part of the brain most responsible for language and speech, along with logical thinking, analytical reasoning, and the motor functions of the right side of the body. Needless to say, where these lesions are absolutely terrifies me. Now, I've never been really good at speaking, and the many takes I have to do when recording a video is proof enough of that, but I don't really want to lose that ability. I know there are a ton of people who can and do lead productive lives with MS, and I plan to do exactly that. But the mere fact that I could, for lack of a better term, lose my mind scares me to no end. Losing what makes me, well, me, would be a fate worse than death to me. And the last thing I want is to become even more of a burden on my family, especially my wife. She deserves so much more than that. Don't worry, I'm not planning on doing anything stupid. I'm just really scared. Whatever happens, I'm going to face this like I do everything else, with my eyes wide open and head held high. I'm scared, yes, but I'll adjust. Anyway, that's all I've got for today, so I'll see you in the next one.